G'day Bomber fans, one more game to go. Our season is not done yet, unfortunately. We still have to play the Pies, and fun fact, you guys are talking about the season being over. We still can make finals. I think if we only win by 300 or 400 points, we're there in the 8. So there is that, but really, realistically, we're just counting down the days until the end of the season. We are cooked as a club, coming off our worst defeat in a long time. Before I get into this review, I just want to say some are probably wanting more of a response from me after the loss. I am livid, don't get me wrong. I wanted to chuck out a 90-minute rant video. I probably will when the year is over, but if you want to see some passionate fans give genuine and heartfelt responses to it now, go watch absolutely Essendon's latest video. That had me really frustrated at the state of the club, but short-term focus for now. Round preview. I won't go through the votes for these last two games. I will keep them a surprise for an end-of-season video, so let's just get into the game. So Essendon versus Collingwood, a game that a few months ago was looking like a real mouthwaterer, a little finals intro for us. We have really crapped the bed since, though. We are absolutely shot. We are tired, stupid. We are playing bad footy. We not only struggled to beat North and West Coast, but we were embarrassed by GWS. While Collingwood, they are still first on the ladder, the best team in the league. I guess the only thing going for us is that we have an opportunity to knock them off and allow the Lions top spot if they also win. That is probably our motivation for the night. That and the fact it's our last home game for the year in front of a big crowd at the MCG on a Friday night. Perfect time slot for us to be embarrassed. Can't hide behind that Saturday graveyard slot this time around. Collingwood like to beat us. They are better than us. They probably will have the more vocal fan base despite it being an Essendon home game, but they are tired right now. They are not the club they were earlier in the year when we beat them. To be fair, we are a fraction of the team we were back then, but it shows both clubs have declined in certain ways. We much more so than them, but the Pies are not indestructible at the minute, so a win is not off the table. Their fan base will tell you that. Let's talk about this Collingwood team, though. It's bloody good. Although there are lots of holes, lots of injuries have hit them. They are under the pump from an availability viewpoint. I will quickly throw some injured players at you. Not literally, I'm not that strong, but to start the week, they had Nick Dacos, Darcy Moore, Steele Sidebottom, Jordan De Goey, John Noble, and Nathan Murphy under injury clouds. Some did play recently, but were sore and tests before their last match. Plus, there are also some other squad members as well injured, so we actually have better availability than them, but let's go zone by zone and talk about why this Magpies team has been so impressive this year. Defense, it was one of the best in the league until the two big men went down. Darcy Moore will not play, Nathan Murphy hurt his back. They still have talent around the place though. Jeremy Howe could move back to defense to lend a hand, and on ground level, Johnny Noble and Isaac Quaynor. The thing that is really special with this Collingwood team is the synergy from defense to midfield. You see them surge with pace from the back line to forward line. That is because they are all on the same wavelength. They really do play team-orientated footy, and it starts from their defensive ball movement. We talk about it a lot with our team, but they really do damage from their back half. The midfield is a funny one. It really can get up and about. Remember that Anzac Day fourth quarter when they killed us at the contest, but then they fall apart against teams like Hawthorn and other lowly sides they should be beating. Jordan De Goey might be back in the team, which hurts a bit. He is their bull, but even with him there are issues. It's a good engine room, but nowhere near the best in the league. The issue is our engine room is closer to the worst in the league. We are cooked. There is no heat in the kitchen. The appliances have been packed away, so you would back theirs in to kill ours with ease after that last game. And then you have their wingers. Josh Dacos is one of the best two-way runners in the comp, I should say. Steele Sidebottom is also great. Chris, Poskin, Elliott on the outside, they run well. They have great outside runners that can rival ours, I reckon. Their forward line is one that outperforms itself. You look at the names, Myercheck, Elliott, McStay, Hill, Cox, McCreary. They aren't stars, but they play underrated footy. We all know Jamie Elliott. I mean, I was sitting right behind that goal he kicked last year after the siren. I think we're probably going to be out of the game before we get to that stage this time round, though. But their forward line, third most goals in the league for a reason. Really, this team on paper is not as good as Brisbane or Port Adelaide or other teams, but their worst players are so important to them. It's brilliant how well they all buy into the culture. I'm a bit jealous as a rival fan, to be honest. Other teams have their worst players trying to get by, like us. Theirs play important roles. It's why they have some real talent in the VFL on the trade table. It's clearly a very strong team. They are first for a reason, so how do we beat them if we can? Is it possible to beat them? The answer is yes, of course it is, but you would be an absolute lunatic to tip us. First off, we need to turn up. We are clearly spent, tired off our legs. I think The thing that favours us is the fact that they have a home final sorted. They won't be coming into this game needing to win to secure anything other than top spot, which, to be fair, is a good thing to have. Our season is done though. We have nothing to lose, which is dangerous. Look at teams like Hawthorn right now. They showed real fight and grit late in this year with nothing on the line and have won regularly. That can be us against a better team. Collingwood have 3 to 4 more games to play after this one if they want to win a flag. This is now their easiest game to come for the rest of the year. So they of course won't come in with the mindset of needing a win. They are just wanting a win. So if we can get the upper hand and come with that do or die attitude like we had earlier in the year, like Hawthorn have now, we are a chance. There are plenty of areas we really need to match. Some I doubt we win, but against Collingwood it's important that intensity and contest work is matched. Some games can end scrappy, some can get ugly, but it's finals like for a reason. We have been dominated for inside 50s when we lose badly. That's on our midfield. They get lots of the open ball, Merritt and co. I want to see that contested tally rise. It will get really ugly if the Pies start to dominate that area of the ground, I can guarantee you that. They also thrive off heat on the ball. Something we do really poorly is judge the game and speed of it. We need to switch speed and style depending on the momentum because it's killed us a few times. We try and match momentum with our own speed when other teams are surging, which just plays into their hands. We need to see more of that uncontested marking that we saw midway through the year. We looked mature with it at our best and played it at the perfect times. We need a bit of that because I think late into the season we've been seen a big overcorrection in that regard, and it's confused our ball movement a little bit. Speaking of ball movement, I think it's going to dictate a lot of how the game plays out, more so than usual. We have two teams who at their best are delights to watch. Again, we haven't been there for a while, but Collingwood play fun, fast footy. We used to play fun, fast footy. I would love for this to be a tight game because I think it would be a joy on a Friday night at the G for a neutral. I talk about it being scrappy before in the contest, but when it's out in the open, there is serious pace and running ability from both sides. Strong wingers, small forwards, defensive transition. These teams both like to score from turnovers, so whoever is more efficient will probably be closer to winning than whoever isn't, which is probably going to be us. If we do find ourselves in the game, we need to make the most of our opportunities, and I don't just mean in front of goal, I mean leading up to it. Since Wright came back, our system has faltered just a tad. We are way too direct in searching for height. We are predictable. I'm not saying Wright hurts the team, but having just one key forward is not ideal, especially against a good defense. GWS showed us that on Saturday. So when we venture forward, we need a good ball use. We are typically fantastic from defense to midfield. It's when we go from midfield to attack that has me worrying. Possible team news for them: McCreary was suspended. Murphy hurt his back. DeGoey should be back. They had Noble and Sidebottom with little niggles, but look fine. They don't make too many changes. As for us, I hope we see quite a few. Guelphy is injured. Stringer, I don't know if he's match fit. It seems like he might have been rushed back. Setterfield, Stewart and Davey were prominent in the VFL, but I think most of what we will be doing is unforced changes. I wouldn't mind a cheeky axe swing from Scott. We have used the least amount of players this season. 34 we have used, the equal least with Melbourne. No club has used less than us. And Melbourne are premiership contenders. We are technically rebuilding with a new coach and have used only 34 players. North and Hawthorn have used 40 and 38. We should be closer to that area, but 34, least week-to-week changes. I want to see Scott say, nope, that's it, I'm swinging the axe. Sorry, Kelly. Sorry, Paco, bring in someone who really deserves it. Really, though, I could talk about zones and stats and facts and figures. All I want from this game is for us to show some heart, give the fans a reason to trust this club in the short term. I understand the long-term picture. I agree that we are not a finals team. We are building for the future, and for the most part, we've been ahead of schedule. But this weekend, this Friday, I just want us to be competitive and hardworking and tough like we were earlier this year. It's been a roller coaster of a season. Let's end on a high, not necessarily a win, but a good effort. Prediction time. I think they win and win comfortably. They are a much better team. We are cooked. After that last loss, I don't think we're going to bounce back in a big way. I'm ruling out a win. I'm ruling out a close game. Hope I'm wrong, but Collingwood are just a brutal team at their best. We are shocking at our worst, so the Pies by 35 points. That is my prediction, and that is the end of the video. Let me know what you think down below. Are we a chance to win? And if you can, get out to the game and support the boys. Get around our last match of the year. I would if I was in Victoria, but like the video, subscribe, and go Bombers.